Edition of Fact or Fiction, but let's look around the league a little bit. Kmart, if I said Ben Johnson is the perfect coach for Caleb Williams in Chicago, is that fact or fiction?
I'll say fact on paper. Listen, this guy knows Caleb every year. He's playing against this team in that division. I think Ben Johnson was the marquee candidate of this round, right? My only thing with the Bears is it's so hard to get excited because they tweeted out his photo like new era. They had a new era every 2 years, it feels like, with these coaches. So I hope Ben Johnson has success there because they do have a quarterback now.
I'm with you. Hawk, let's go to the Lions. If I said they have now missed their best chance at the Super Bowl, would that be fact or fiction?
I think it's fact. I think it's fact because you look at Ben Johnson leaving, who we just talked about, Aaron Glenn leaving, so they lose both coordinators. They're a very talented football team. Goff is a great quarterback and has been great for the Detroit Lions. I do start to question if we'll continue to see that version of Jared Goff without Ben Johnson at the helm.
And then finally, Dominique, I turn to you. If someone were to say Lamar Jackson needs to win a Super Bowl to cement his legacy, would that be fact or fiction?
Oh, yeah, that's the easiest, most obvious fact that we can come up with. Yeah. That's how we measure quarterbacks, especially these great quarterbacks. And it's been really special for these young quarterbacks to get to this point so quickly where we're only measuring championships. We skipped all the questions, and now the only question left is, can he win the Super Bowl? And I think it's going to be yes at some point. I think we all do.
Yes. The obvious answer to that question is yes. I agree with you because what we're talking about is, or I guess what we would say is, what exactly is the legacy going to be? Because his legacy right now is he's going to be one of the greatest regular season quarterbacks that ever lived, which is it almost feels like damning with faint praise, right? He is more accomplished, infinitely more accomplished than the other contenders of his time. Joe Burrow doesn't have an MVP. Josh Allen doesn't have an MVP. Lamar's about to have his third, we think, but the postseason success has to come.
To me, whenever I think about Lamar, I start thinking about Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers, arguably one of the most gifted quarterbacks we have seen play this game, and yet still we point to, man, it really feels, given all the talent he has, that he should have won more Super Bowls. And it feels like a failure for not getting more Super Bowls. I feel like with Lamar, the crazy thing about Lamar and Josh, it's almost like they've done so much so early that now it's like you need to win a Super Bowl. You don't win a Super Bowl, given all these windows, given your talent.
I think that is a barometer that Lamar Jackson set up for himself. He said on day one, you're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Why? It's not crazy to say that he needs to win a Super Bowl because that's also how he's judging his own career. It's all he actually cares about. He does not care about the MVPs. He wants to be a champion. He wants to bring a championship to Baltimore. Now, if I'm being just unbiased, outside looking in, I will say you cannot tell the NFL story without Lamar Jackson. You think about how we talk about Michael Vick. Michael Vick is incredible. He is nowhere near as good as Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson will have changed the way you look at quarterbacks in the NFL because prior to him, it was you cannot win a Super Bowl this way. To where now we're like, we believe he will win one. And not only that, you look at the last four quarterbacks standing, mostly all of them are dual threat quarterbacks. And that's not all because of Lamar, but it has shaped the way that quarterbacks and teams will go look at quarterbacks in the draft.
All four of them are. All four of the quarterbacks that are still standing are dual.
He's the final evolution of the dream that we all had a long time ago.
The creative player Madden players that we created.
And for him to, so you're right, he's going to go down in history as one of the greats, but the Super Bowl is
the Super Bowl has to happen because for all those conversations, and the problem is the only one who's even gotten to a Super Bowl is Burrow. Like Allen hasn't done any more than what Lamar has done. None of these guys have gotten to what we all expect them to get to. They all have to get there. So to say it would not be a fact, he has to win a Super Bowl to be put in the conversation of the greatest to ever do it. You could say changed it of but to be in the greatest conversations, that Super Bowl has to happen.
Of course, for sure. Again, you lived this too with Peyton Manning.
Absolutely.
I mean, I was at the game.
And the whole regular season thing. You know what I mean? I've heard all of that.
And the one thing, if you're looking to criticize Lamar Jackson's postseason performance, Burrow hasn't been bad in the playoffs.
Right.
They just haven't won.
Right.
Allen hasn't been bad in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Lamar, until this year, his performance diminished. I will continue to say, and I don't care what anybody says, that game the other night was not on him. I feel like he is getting infinitely too much blame for what happened in that game. People are looking at a first half turnover and deciding that decided a game. The first one, I get it. It didn't lead to points in the other direction. The second one did, whatever it is. He more than overcame it. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, was the best player on the field on Sunday night. And I refuse to allow at least it to go unchecked, the idea that Lamar Jackson is the reason his team lost that game.
I think people use that with Josh Allen, and people would get upset, right, that he played well but his team didn't win, or he did. The problem is when you set the bar as high as Lamar Jackson set it throughout the regular season, and you have 4 interceptions, and everybody says not one of them is your fault, and then you go into the playoff game and you're playing against, again, a contemporary that you're all being judged against, and you turn the ball over twice in one game. It matters. You can say whatever you want about the rest of it, but those two things are monumental in football, and it just is what it is. You can't say you're disparaging him because it happened. He fumbled it when he shouldn't have. He threw an interception. It is what it's no different than Josh Allen. You got to grade them all on the same curve, in my opinion, when it comes to that.
I'm not arguing that part of it. I'm from a bigger picture perspective, you're 100% right. He's going to need to win one for this narrative to change. From a little picture perspective, I think that I've seen too much of people saying, "Oh, Lamar Jackson loses again. Lamar Jackson blows it again."
I agree.
That is, to me, that was not the game I watched on Sunday night. One way or another, it is time for the always dangerous zero Fox given.
Yeah.
Dominique has a couple of things that have caught his attention.
Y'all better shut your damn face. Damn, that dude is cool right there. I give 0 Fox. He does not give a damn. No! Get that big fella.
I get scared every time I'm going to say it because I'm country and I might say the wrong thing.
0 socks given.
I'm glad 0 Fox is alive for another week. Lucky me.
All right. Every week we take our lives in our own hands, or at least our careers in our own hands, with a feature known as 0 Fox given.
All right, we're going to start with A.J. Brown, and it's nothing that he did on the field. It's him showing up to the game like a college freshman in a Honda with his books. He looked fly. He must have got that NIL check, but he didn't get enough to buy a new car. He went out there. He's dressed like a workman. He's driving a workman's vehicle, and he went out there and played like an offensive guard, blocked the hell out of everybody. He did block his ass off, but he ain't get
financial literacy. I love it, AJ. Keep that money, my boy. Keep it.
Yeah, you didn't got to flex when you got that new contract. I'm scared to even talk about this. I don't want to name names because I don't want them coming to my house. Talk about somebody who gets 0 Fox. This is the first play of the game. It's not even in regulation. This is the kickoff. This is how you respond to the kickoff. And look at my coach. You know who does give some foxes? The coach.
Yeah.
Coach like, I don't care who wins.
What is Chris Boyd doing?
Can we play that back? Can we play the wide angle again?
Listen,
and look at all the coaches up top when they see it. Look at them.
Oh,
they all act like, what do you say over there?
Everybody did have something else
Like
to do.
D'Amico was like, okay, yeah, we got a game going on.
You know you're in trouble when you get the point down.
Oh, yeah.
When you whipping it down on him, it's a problem. All right,
He
last.
also got a 15-yard penalty for throwing his helmet off going to the sideline. Go ahead.
About anything. All right, last we got the king of 0 Fox given, Mac Hollins. Oh my
Yes,
God.
sir.
I've run out of, are those Zumbas? Does he have a Zumba shorts? I've run out of things to say about this man. He plays hard, he plays great. He doesn't care about himself though. He gives 0 Fox about his personal health.
About what's on the ground,
He is in the Hall of Fame.
That was the week before.
I'm looking forward to this week, though.
Me
What is he
too.
going to give us this week? He gave us the Yabba Dabba Don't, and I think that's the Dope Fiend Clean on that side. In the middle, it's Beach Boy Fresh, but I don't know what he's got.
Am I the only one watching then that always thinks he is one play away from a 15-yard penalty? Also, on every single play, he looks like he's ready to explode.
He lives on the edge.
I think that's obvious.
Yeah.
He's got some offensive guard in his
Yes, he
heart,
does.
or it's just nasty. He just got
He a Tar Heel.
That man gives 0 Fox.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn. Mình lại quay lại đây. Video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tô màu những sản phẩm này đây.